Juro por mi pueblo y juro por mi patria.
Lo juro delante de esta Constitución.
Tensions are escalating between the U.S. and Venezuela.
Not war, not war, not war, just peace.
Es un país que no tiene futuro, es un país rico sin futuro.
It's a country that sadly is in a constant decline.
I wouldn't go back to live over there.
For more than 2 decades, Venezuela has been undergoing a profound transformation that reshaped its society, its economy, and its role in the international community. Once a symbol of prosperity and democracy in the region, the country has slowly fallen into political turmoil and economic devastation, triggering shortages, protests, and mass migration on an unprecedented scale.
Let's just say that it was a really dangerous place. Like, I seen people getting killed, I seen my dad getting robbed.
Fabricio Gonzalez is a Venezuelan student at Florida International University, who, as many young immigrants, came to the U.S. pursuing the dreams that were taken away by his own country. Like thousands of Venezuelans who were under temporary protected status, he fears revealing his real name and face may put him and his family in danger.
Me, my dad, and my mom, we had to come here because we're getting persecuted by the government over there.
Gustavo Garcia Jr. is also a student at FIU. His father, with the same name, served as military general for many years, even before Chávez took power.
Está tan negro que 8 millones de venezolanos han decidido salir del país, irse por la frontera, enfrentarse a los peligros de salir caminando que quedarse dentro del país.
Venezuela's modern story took center stage in 1992, when Army officer Hugo Rafael Chávez Frías led a failed coup attempt against President Carlos Andrés Pérez. Later pardoned by Rafael Caldera, Chávez turned the notoriety into a growing movement. With his name becoming more popular each day, he was elected president in 1999.
En Venezuela tiene su hora, y es que llegó la hora del pueblo.
José Antonio Colina is a former member of the Venezuelan Armed Forces, who's also the founder of the organization BEPEX, which has helped many Venezuelans in exile.
Hugo Chávez lo que hizo fue destruir sistemáticamente la institucionalidad y utilizar el monopolio de las armas en contra de la propia población que le fue adversando a medida que iba pasando el tiempo.
My dad, right when Chavez took power, he had like a couple disagreements with him. One of the biggest disagreements was that Chavez wanted to let free some of the soldiers that had done the coup with him. And my dad said that neither him as a president or himself as the position that he used to have in the army as a general, he couldn't release them, that they had to go through the court and do all the proceedings. And that was one of the things that pissed Chávez off.
Evidentemente el plan de Hugo Chávez siempre fue la destrucción sistemática de la Fuerza Armada.
All the while, you know, the Venezuelan economy was falling apart.
Dr. Eduardo Gamarra is a political science and international relations professor at FIU. Gamarra dedicated his life to Latin America and the Caribbean, making him an expert on the topic.
Venezuela squandered an awful lot of their wealth, right, around the globe, financing different groups, different countries. And then in the context of challenging U.S. hegemony and challenging the U.S. role in the region, the response by the United States was to impose sanctions.
Good evening.
According to a U.S. secretary, sanctions first began during the Bush administration when the U.S. first penalized Venezuelan petroleum. Obama then expanded them in 2015, targeting officials tied to corruption and human rights abuses. But the real escalation came under Trump. Sanctions intensified, cutting off Venezuela's access to U.S. markets and freezing government assets.
I think if you look at both the deteriorating political conditions and the deteriorating economic conditions, they're largely a product, yes, of sanctions, right? But probably first and foremost, of just complete mismanagement of the economy.
With the economy collapsing, things didn't get much better, even after Hugo Chávez was out of power.
What accelerated the deterioration in Venezuela was the the death of Chavez.
Recibimos la información más dura y trágica que podamos transmitir a nuestro pueblo. A las 4:25 de la tarde de hoy 5 de marzo ha fallecido el comandante presidente Hugo Chávez Frías.
After battling with cancer for many years, Chavez died on March 5, 2013, although this date has been disputed many times. Before dying, he would choose then Vice President Nicolas Maduro to take the leadership.
I do remember as a kid being like, oh, so it's over. Yeah, that was pretty ignorant.
Pero Nicolás Maduro es un accidente de la historia en Venezuela.
Most people thought it would be Diosdado Cabello.
Diosdado Cabello is one of the most powerful figures in Chavismo, a former military officer and longtime ally of Hugo Chavez, who has served as Vice President, National Assembly President, and now Interior Minister under Nicolas Maduro.
And maybe, you know, when you think about Maduro, Maduro is an imposing figure. He's an extraordinarily tall man, very powerful voice.
With the economic hardship, insecurity, and lack of human rights, millions decided to leave Venezuela and go to other countries. Because of this, the Biden administration created TPS in 2021.
TPS, Temporary Protective Status, is aimed at protecting basically immigrants who have fled conflictive countries. Since the crisis in Venezuela has accelerated, right, there was a lot of reticence on the part of several administrations to grant Venezuelans TPS.
With a thumbs up from the Supreme Court, the Trump administration revoked TPS in October, with the direction of Secretary of Homeland Security Kristi Noem and Secretary of State Marco Rubio.
They both argue that the conditions in Venezuela have changed significantly, enough to allow for the return of Venezuelans.
So right now we have we had the TPS, the one that was valid for 2021, which was terminated. And right now, the thing that's like giving us a little hope is that my stepfather is doing the certificación laboral. I don't know how to say it in English.
Work certification?
The work certification. I'm included in that, so that's the only thing that's giving us any hope at all.
And of course, this has left many people flabbergasted because, if anything, the conditions in Venezuela are worse today than they ever have been.
I remember we didn't have any type of electricity for whole weeks. We couldn't find any food. We couldn't do anything. We couldn't go out. So it was a pretty rough situation in general.
He had to make long lines to get food, to get any basic necessity, not just for people that were being persecuted by him.
The Trump administration actions are not only affecting Venezuelans outside the country, but also inside. The U.S. have launched multiple attacks to alleged drug boats coming from Venezuela, killing at least 87 people. Not only that, but it has also increased the country's military presence in the Caribbean, making the tensions between both countries grow even more.
He has said explicitly that the aim is to fight drug trafficking.
Bueno, mira, yo pienso que el operativo militar del Caribe ha logrado su objetivo. ¿Cuál es el objetivo? Generar presión, impedir que las embarcaciones que salen del oriente de Venezuela.
I would hope that both the U.S. and Maduro can reach a negotiation that Maduro and the corrupt government leaves the country.
Even with all the challenges, Venezuelans have learned from their mistakes and remain hopeful that a change will happen in the near future.
Tenemos que aprender a pensar como país y no como individuo.
So yeah, there's a lot of immigrants that come here trying to take advantage of other people. Yeah, that's for sure. But that's not the case for all of us. Most of the people that come to this country, they're coming here to work. They're coming here to make a difference. They're coming here to help their families. They're coming here to serve this country. So why wouldn't you allow that?
I know we've been through a lot and that the situation right now in the country is really bad, but I know it'll get better. We just have to wait and something good will come.